it's Nat here.
It's Cade.
It's Kate.
Deb again.
Wade.
Kitty.
Miga.
Wow, that's what I think. Wow. Restrictions are pretty much over. People can do what they like.
That Australia's being let out. That's rad. I'm stoked for you guys. You really avoided the worst of it. And where I thought that I was going to be 2 weeks in the future and I could warn you guys about what was to come from quarantine. And in the end, that was not true because you're out and I'm still in.
All right, we're at school. You ready? Ready to go to school?
I love the doing things on our own terms thing, and that's what being at home has been like for us. We wake up when we feel like it. We find our own rhythm. We should be living life more on our own terms, generally, rather than be in this capitalist system in which we live in, where we have to show up 5 days a week to a job in order to pay those bills and live in that house and have our individually blocked lifestyles.
It feels like being the first wave over the trenches, if I'm being honest. I haven't worked yet. I've asked not to work straight away, or at least not to work a lot straight away, because I am super, super anxious, obviously, because I'll go from basically being around nobody to being around hundreds of like randoms every day.
There's so many people out in Newtown. It's freaking me out. Everyone's kind of just acting like everything's gone back to normal.
Yeah, I think people are going to take this lifted ban way too literally, and that they'll just start getting back to life as usual, which will be shit.
So as life begins to get a little bit more normal every day, I lament every day the way it was 6 weeks ago. No cars on the road, no people in the shops. And I genuinely long for a simpler life because I forgot what that was like. I think we all had.
I almost put my most prized possessions in the world onto eBay. Had I stayed up for an hour longer than I did, they would have been on eBay. But I got up the next morning and I finally got the coronavirus unemployment payment. So it was $750, which is my rent, and $100 to spend on whatever I like, which I spent on food.
We are going to get in a play date before there's a second wave, I think. I think that's what we need to do, is get in a play date so she can meet real babies.
It seems that when all of this is over, the hug is dead.
The hairdresser, he'd finished my hair, okay? I'm paying, and then he started coughing.
Coughing is the new farting. She started coughing and it was funny. My reaction, the other lady's reaction, we just like looked at her and went, like we were thinking, do you have corona? She's like, I don't have coronavirus. I said, don't have corona. It was so funny because the initial reaction is, are you sick? Did you just cough?
Yeah, I'm not an epidemiologist, but something tells me that, my gut tells me that there will be a few more waves, but what do you do? Live your life in fear? Do you just hunker down for the rest of your life? Do you? There'll be a generation of people with this big blank patch here. It'll all be tanned, and there'll be this little white patch here.
Just because they've been lifted doesn't mean that you need to change the way that you're doing things. So I suppose if enough people, and I feel a lot of people do feel like me, if enough people go, you know what, yes, the bans have been lifted, but that doesn't mean that we have to start heading out and having parties and all that sort of stuff.
Look at this thing. Look at it. Looks like me, needs a haircut.